Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's study session. Tonight, we will be looking at three betting, continuing our series that we're working through. We're going to be moving to the button, and we're going to have two different parts to tonight's session. We're going to look at how we play against a very tight opponent under the gun, and how we play against a very loose opponent versus the cutoff. Button's incentivized to call a lot, knowing that they're going to have position, but there's still a fair amount of three betting. So we're going to work on that today. We will be 40 big blinds deep. And so we will start off after we click this by doing a little bit of range study work and see kind of what we're going to get up to in this spot. So under the gun opens, and we are faced with this decision. We will notice that every offsuit hand that we have is three betting at some frequency. Not a primary decision from all of them, but we do need to be finding three bets in game here. We also attack the bottom of under the gun's opening range here. The under the gun has some offsuit tens and jacks. And so when we come to the button, we attack with nines and eights. And very heavily with the ace and king blocker, as we can see, both on the offsuit and the suited side, blocking the best of their value range and unblocking their folds. So we'll take a look in the report section here. Oops. Yeah. This is a generic flop, but we will look at all the reports. And see what our strategy is going to be. When we take a look at monotone boards, we can see that we are primarily range betting throughout. The spots where we see slight sizing up is where we have connected monotone boards. So you can see the 10-9 likes to size up a little bit here. The Jack-10 likes to size up a little bit. The Queen-10, the Queen-Jack. And then on monotone boards that are ace high, we are very cautious. We are checking a lot when it is ace mid-mid or ace mid-low or ace low-low, and small betting a lot. And when we have multiple broadways, we tend to bet big on these spots, much more than any other monotone boards. So the idea of betting one big blind, while it's often true on any board that's 10 or lower, we want to be betting slightly bigger and generating a little more fold equity throughout the rest of the range when there's a Broadway card. On flush draw boards, again, we see a little bit of when there is a high level of connectivity, polarization, and that's going to start coming in again at 87. A little bit at 8-9, a little bit at 10-9. And here we go. Jack-10 with a flush draw. There is a fair amount of this purple color, which is not a big part of our strategy as a whole, but specifically with this holding in a 3-bet pot, this is going to be a very polarized spot. But when we don't polarize, we are still betting a lot. We see a little bit of that with the Queen-10 and with the Queen-Jack as well. And a tiny bit of that with King-Queen, but much less of a thing. As you can tell, the king boards with a flush draw are primarily just a small bet, a little bit of sizing up, not a whole lot. Ace boards again, we are cautious with ace nine and lower. By far the most amount of checking that we do. And then range betting the rest, slightly sizing up with ace king, ace queen, and other multi-Broadway cards. On rainbow boards, oops. I did not create a filter properly. Still have flush draws in there. On rainbow boards, we see a lot of just quarter pot betting throughout on a rainbow board. Sizing up with Jack 10 connected boards. A little bit of sizing up on the queen boards here, but not very much. A little bit on the king boards, but not very much. Again, ace low, low, rainbow, lots of very small betting. With multiple Broadway cards, we start to see a little bit more of a bigger sizing. And last but not least, we will look at paired boards. And so we can see that the general motion for all of the paired boards is that we are just going to be betting small, very, very frequently. Have a few checks on low boards, no checks on mid or high boards until you get to the ace with some low stuff. And there's a little bit of checking there, but generally just the smaller sizes. So now that we've seen kind of this range construction, let's go to the trainer and have some fun. All right, so we are 3-betting every hand today. So if it's in range, there might be one or two that aren't. But we will find ourselves in some small parts of the game tree. We get a Jack 10 rainbow board, connected, rainbow, Jack 10. What do we want to do here and why?
In game, I would probably check.
Okay.
I don't know, though.
Checking is very reasonable, 25% of the time. Betting small is very reasonable here. Betting micro is very reasonable. So Jack 10 for rainbow. Let's look at what we're going to do with all of the hands in our range that we have here on this board and where it breaks down, because this is a board that doesn't check a lot, right? And this is Jack 10. So we do have the overbets and the jams coming in here. But this is one of the combos that does check. Pocket nines, 10 8s, 10 9, 8 9. This little block of hands here, 54. Finding some checks with a 10. Right? So betting all of our jacks. And betting every overcard. Is everyone finding some jams here? Ace queen, ace jack, king jack, queens, queen 9, open-ended, just rip it in. Spicy.
I will admit, I think maybe I've gotten to do it once. I've been looking for that spot and I just haven't had it come up.
So we give it the old check, and we get a half pot bet. Well, we pick up equity, walk the straight.
Yeah, we're definitely calling. I just wonder if we get some raises. Probably not against UTG, even though we're the 3-better. So I think we just call.
So do you have any hand that you raise here?
We're in
Uh,
position, probably not. Maybe like,
I think
Mm.
combo draws are likely raise here, so like,
Well,
king nine suited would be good, take king nine of diamonds.
Remember,
I think we
only
just
get
bet that pure
here-
though. We have 10-8. That,
Yeah.
does 10-8 wanna raise
10-8,
though?
yeah, 10-8's in range from a check on the flop.
Yeah, we only checking 5% on the flop, so.
I don't think I raised 10-8. I think we wanna use it as like to protect our call range. It's like the strongest hand we can really have. Maybe
Yeah,
we have a little jacks.
Do we have any three betting frequency with 10-8 suited?
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Remember, we're attacking with all the suited eights and all the suited nines, so it's not very prevalent, but you're gonna have about 15% three bets with hands like 10-8 and 8-9. The flush completes. That good for us or bad for us?
We're not blocking the flush. And he has more suited, so I think it's bad.
So is this just a check?
well, some of his suited is blocked. Because most of his suited is, oh no, never mind.
Yeah, like he has.
I think
he
it's
still has
hard
king
for us.
10, king, queen.
He has the Broadway suited.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so here, we're not betting for value, only betting for a bluff, and that would be a shove. But we're beating his ace, kings and ace queens, so I think we check.
Yeah, just check. Check and you win a fair amount when you check, and it's hard for us to really have a flush here the way it played. I think we bet almost every suited combo that would be a flush.
If you had
On
the
the
nine
flop.
of diamonds, would you bet?
Nah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, nah.
Nah, I don't think he has many.
Just coolers us with the flush.
So do you think his out of position check is it? Can you construe that as a trap? Or can you construe that as we could have a better flush?
I think it's one of those things that's gonna be hard to get called by worse here.
So it's better to reduce the bluff.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's blocking the straight, so it's gonna be hard for us to have the straight here.
Yeah, it's
Our two pairs are pretty infrequent, right? We're really here with 10-8 and jack 10 only. So, I mean, is he giving up some value from some sets and stuff?
Yeah, I'm
Take a look
curious
at
what flushes he's value betting after betting a turn.
Can we see our check range one more time too?
Our check range on which street,
On-
Danny?
On the flop.
Oh, on the flop, it was pretty narrow.
Like, can we have? Let's see, king 10 suited. Alright, so we can have a few flushes, but they're pretty infrequent.
Yeah, we have king 10 here, queen 9. We really have
Wait.
straight draws that are combo draws that have flushes.
Yeah, and none of the ones with the 8, right? Cuz the 8's the flush suit. So it's pretty narrow.
Yeah, we have king 10 and jack 9, and like that's about it. Right? So we're not here with an awful lot of flushes, and when he's holding the 10 of diamonds, like it even blocks us even further. So we almost have no flushes that we get to the river with. But his checking range. So he is checking. He's betting almost all his flushes. Right? He does check 10-9 and jack 10 sometimes. But he's
We're looking
stuffing
at
most.
just, sorry, I was looking at just flushes now.
Sorry.
Are we looking just at his flushes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's just his flushes. And so he's not checking very many of them. So we kind of caught him on a bit of a sliver of Jack 10. So we kind of got a little bit lucky to even just see a showdown here because he's not checking, like he's betting 88% of his flushes and he's checking 1%. And he's checking when he also blocks the straight.
Yeah, particularly having the 10 and the 9 basically means he has the nuts. Cause we don't have a flush that doesn't have the 10 or the 9, right?
Yeah,
So
when
he's
the
just
ace-
trying to catch us on the, like the naked ace bluff or something.
Mhm.
Pretty heads up play. By the machine.
Sick machine. All right, how often are you 3-betting ace 8? Feels like you want to call a lot here, right?
Think, I-
15.
no, I think this might be 30% or a bit more 3-bet.
Ooh, Joey getting
22.
27, very nice.
Not enough.
Oh, but we get stuffed.
Get me
So
out.
I'm kind of on
Fold,
camp
Ski.
fold here.
Yeah,
But what's the worst suited ace that you're calling off?
Jack.
Ace jack,
Ace jack, ace jack, ace jack?
Ace
Okay, let's take
queen,
a look at
maybe.
that quickly.
Whoa. Yeah.
Might be ace 10
Uh,
suited. So you guys are ace jack suited, ace queen off then?
actually, we.
I'm,
Ace jack very
I
much
might be
so.
ace queen.
we didn't have, we don't 3-bet ace 10, ace jack suited.
Oh yeah, we don't 3-bet ace queen suited either, do we?
So
So
we're
then
just
it's
here with
just ace king.
Easy game.
You tricked us.
Eights plus ace king. Probably pretty reasonable. I mean, some of these pairs are just gonna be pretty tough, depending if a person's finding enough 4-bet bluffs. But- Okay. Ooh, ace jack off. How frequently are you 3-betting this?
30%.
26.5. Solvers in the crowd. King low, king mid, rainbow.
This is a range bet.
Bet one.
I think we got, well, maybe.
A little bit of bet 1. A little bit of bet 4.
Maybe bet four. I don't know. I think our hand kinda likes bet one more than bet four.
Okay.
Maybe I have it
Yeah, but
backwards.
What about our range?
Our range is gonna be very heavily bet 4.
Very
Let's take
bet
a look
four.
at where
Yeah.
we're getting the 4 from here.
Cause it's king high.
King mid,
More. Yeah, go for it.
Yep, it's just gonna be a lot of bet 4. 65% of our range is betting 4. Right? So we see a little bit of sizing up when we have connection around the straight. The direct stuff around the straight, 8, 7, 9, 8. This wants to bet small a lot. There's no checks on the board anywhere. Top set wants to bet small. No checking top set. Savage. Okay, so we take very small bets, keep our opponent as wide as possible. And he still folds ace 9 with a back door. Pretty nitty for 10% sizing, eh?
Yeah,
That
I
is
would-
pretty nitty.
I don't think I'd be folding that.
All right. How frequently are you 3-betting aces here?
Here, I think at this stacked up.
100%.
I like that.
85-ish.
Always 3-bet your aces. Oh, happy days. Four bet shove with tens. When we see an opponent four bet shove tens there, you know that like calling off, we gotta start calling off that slightly wider range. Alright, ace jack. We've seen this one.
26.5%.
Ace with another Broadway and a connected card. Rainbow though. How much does
So-
our range want to bet and how much does our hand want to bet?
I think we bet four here. I think it's very high on range bet.
No, I
I'm team
think,
half pot.
yeah,
think.
I'm at 8.
I think our range wants to do some of both, right? 4 and 8. But I think our hand likes 8.
How often do you think our range is going to check here?
%.
Never?
It's gonna check more than that, I think.
Ooh, this hand alone is 21%.
Oh,
About 30% probably.
I guess we kinda have the worst ace, huh?
So when we look at the aces that we do get here with, that we three bet, right? We remember we just have slivers of a lot of these rebetting aces. So ace jack is kind of in the middle of the pack, except the problem is ace 10 is 2 pair, ace 9 is 2 pair, so our ace jack is actually kind of pushed a little further down. Although
Yeah,
it's on
but-
the right end of the straight.
Under the gun should have almost all the suited aces too. Maybe not ace 2.
So let's take a look at under the gun. They don't have ace king, but they've got ace queen, ace jack, ace queen, ace jack, full frequencies. Wow, let's take a look at that. Yeah, full frequencies. And then they have ace 10 and an ace 9 at full frequency. And then, you know, most of their smaller aces here. So we're not doing great against the aces that the opponent has. So if we take a look at our equity graph here, from the button in green, we have a range advantage throughout. And so it's going to lead to lots of small betting and just gotta push our equity a little bit. Right? And it's a function of us having ace king and our opponent not having ace king. And us having aces here, right? They have a little more with sets of 9s and 10s. So
What's our total range advantage?
60% to 40%.
Okay, right up here, okay, thank you.
yeah, this one here is your equity advantage here.
So it's huge, okay.
Yeah, so we want to bet and we want to bet small a lot. But this hand is kind of struggling here. Right? It's kind of the betting from the middle of your range. But I mean, it's still doing pretty well. So we go with the bet 4, which is just fine. And we get raised. Pot, top pair. Stack to pot ratio getting close.
Wow.
We're gonna have a hard time escaping. But I don't think we can fold, can we?
This is the problem with betting, huh?
Mm-hmm. Call or just go all in. Now on the flop, when someone check raises you, I mean, you know, there's lots of people who study and know that there's spots where they're gonna be check raising 87 of diamonds here, and Jack 8 of hearts. Right, that if you're in there against good GTO opponents, they're gonna have some pretty constructive check raises here, but you know, people tend to be a little value heavy here. But I mean, at this point, our hand is just probably strong enough to go with it, and it does. It doesn't really matter what our opponents is raising with. We pick up equity, but it's not good.
Yeah. It's half
What
pot,
hands do we beat?
backdoor flush draws.
Mhm.
The jack eight of hearts that you mentioned.
Yep. Would be bluffs, that's about it.
Yeah, we beat heart draws that's picked up equity here. Right? So we beat draws that picked up a flush draw too, but not an awful lot. But I mean,
Our equity against ace ten and ace nine isn't terrible either.
we do
Nah,
have some suck out equity.
or even 10-9. Our equity against two pairs is still pretty good.
Yeah, 0.01 chips good. But maybe we can just suck out Autumn on the River.
Chop it up.
And chop it up
Yeah,
next time. Oh, spicy raise. I mean, are you guys finding folds with this, or raises, or calls?
raise, either one, raise or fold.
It raises about 4% of the time, folds every other time.
Love it.
Nailed it.
All right. Mid, low board with a flush draw. Connected at the top end a little bit of sizing up sometimes. Is this gonna be one that sizes up?
I think we finally found our gray here.
We're going for the Greyhound with the King of Spades.
The king of spades and the 10 feels like the right type of hand for it. Ay, ay,
A
ay.
little bit low.
Never.
Yeah,
I was
It's-
thinking check.
it's checking. It's betting small a lot too. I thought the connectedness would size it up a little bit, but maybe this just isn't the combo to do it. Take a look and see if there's anything in here that's doing it. And if so, what?
I guess we just, on the 8 high, we just like retain our overall range advantage and we just go small a lot
Mhm.
still. Since it's under the gun.
So there is a little bit. So if you have an 8, you're doing it. All our over pairs do it a little bit. And King Jack and King 10, but not the ones that we have. We had King 10. So you want to have the King of Diamonds or the King of Hearts. You don't want to have the King of Spades here to size up.
How often is UTG calling pre-flop with like aces and kings?
How often do they hear with aces and kings? Let's take a look.
I don't think he's ever there with kings.
He's never here with kings, and he's here about a quarter of the time with aces.
Cool. And then a little queens and jacks too.
So yeah, we're just pushing our overpair advantage here by betting most of our range. And we get check raised again.
Yeah, that's why I want to check. I think we
So this is
fold.
our worst hand. Is this just to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm out too. Solve it. I mean,
We do have, what,
Yeah,
what,
Solver
I
doesn't
mean,
like two back doors.
ugh.
we probably had a clean pair draw.
Oh,
Oh, not clean.
All right, King 7 suited. Oh yeah, attacking with some 7s and 8s. 5% of the time, not very often, mostly calling, even folding here. Well, if it was almost folding pre, it's definitely folding to a 3. Oh, are we serious? Is this really a 3-bet?
Yeah,
No, I think this is just all.
three bet and fold. Maybe with a sliver of calls.
1%.
I hope we don't three bet
1%.
this.
So when you
I
roll
hope-
100,
Yeah, I hope you don't 3-bet this too often, because this is pretty spicy. And we get what we deserve.
it
Old man caught speeding.
works
He
better
4-bet
versus like
bluffed us
hijack.
with Ace 4. Do you believe that? Alright, king queen
Yeah.
off.
Ace 4 and ace 5 are awesome for betting combos.
Yep.
Suited.
I flat this a lot. How
Raise
often
it
should we raise it?
30% again. Stick with the
10%.
10%.
10%. Yeah, I do flat this hand a lot on the button. Right, I'm happy to keep in all the worst kings and queens.
Problem with this hand is that if you three bet and get called, you're often gonna get dominated, except here where you have the king flop.
Yep. Alright, so monotone flop with 2 broadways. Are we
I
betting?
think this is a range bet, small.
Okay.
Range bet 4.
What about checking?
I'm kinda team check on this one. I don't know. Didn't we see with the two, with like the high broadways that you typically have some sizing up, or is 4? Is that considered sizing up?
So on ace mid, like ace mid mid or ace mid low or ace low low, it was much more small and checking. On ace king, I think there was a little bit of sizing up here. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a little bit of 8 creep into the neighborhood. But I still think it's going to be pretty heavily here. 1.3%, about the same as often as you 3-bet queen 10 off from the button. Tiny bit of checking. So let's look at this whole strategy here and see kind of where we're pulling from and what we're doing.
Guess our draw's too good to wanna check.
So just not a lot of checking on this board. This hand particularly did find some checks. So when we have a spade, 2% checking. And we are pretty healthy mixing our sizes here. Right, with a spade. Yeah, our queen of spades just wants to bet small a lot. Yeah, ace queen with the queen of spades sizes up. King queen sizes down. So if you have the ace to go with your spade, you get to bet big. If you have the king, you get to bet small. All right. So is this a bet 6? Betting 12 seems too big to me.
So we're already at almost SPR 1. I wouldn't mind. I don't know if the subs can do this, but I wouldn't mind a bet check here because you've got the little nuts. So I think it's either bet 6 or check.
So I think
I like
we
betting
still-
6.
Yeah, I still think we have some hands that want to go for value. right? Particularly aces, kings, and ace king. The one to bet here. So I think it is gonna have some small bets. And I mean, how are they
Yeah.
gonna fold to this disrespectful size?
Yeah, I like super small too, a little bit.
Both of them are just fine. Right? The key is that we do have some non-flush value hands that still want to go for thin value here. Oh, happy days. Do we keep the fish on the line? Or is he pot committed?
We never raise, good call. In
Your
position.
call. Good stuff. Happy days. Disrespectful 3.
That's surprising. That's surprising at it. That must be low frequency.
3-bet pot with pocket 3s, and he goes with the second worst flush. Oops.
How does he play his 3 of spades that way?
Could be the worst flush in his range. Cause
Yeah.
he doesn't have pocket twos.
Nope.
Can we take a look at what the villain's action should have been? Like, that seems like a 0% bet there on the river. But I might be wrong.
Fortunately. Build it up again. I accidentally closed out the tab, so we will build it up for you the hard way. Please. This is 4. X. And we've got 4. Did villain check raise us, or did villain just call? I think he called. What was the turn? Do we recall offhand? There's another spade. 8 of spades.
Thought it was a 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8 doesn't matter.
Okay, and he checked and we bet small. He check raised to 17. Called. And the river was the 2 of diamonds. And the villain, he's just going all in with everything except an ace. So,
Okay.
What were you looking for here, Ryan?
Just the line from the villain seemed weird, but I guess the villain's not weird. I'm weird for thinking he's weird.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at all his combos and they like probably 5 to 10% of his combos play this way. So he's not here with a very big part of his game tree on this 4-liner.
He's turning his hand into a bluff, basically.
When he gets here, he's just putting it all in with everything.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Really only checking an ace
Okay. Thank you.
and pocket aces. Yep. All right.
But on the turn, yes, he's turning it into a bluff, right?
Yeah, he check raises us. That's not, I don't think that's a value bet. Button. Jack 10 off. Ever 3 betting.
No. I think
How
it's
often?
0.
0.
I pure fold.
All right, good job, guys. Can't fool everyone. All right, 6-5. How about this? Tricky 3-bet.
I think it'll squeak in there even at 40. It's more
Yeah.
prevalent deeper.
It has
Sure.
slivers.
Slivers. So like 3%, 15%.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think at like 12 or something.
Isn't 6-7 the bottom Oh, okay.
Take a look.
No, I think this is the worst one.
Oh, well. Two Broadway cards and a flush draw, and they're closely connected. So lots of incomplete equity, lots of draws, lots of high cards. King is good for us. There's no checking. How big do we want to bet?
I would bet 4 here.
I'm betting 8.
Why the choice for 8, Nick?
It's like you said, it's a very coordinated board. He's gonna have a lot of connectivity with this, and our range is gonna benefit from having a more polarized sizing, I think. Because he's not gonna have issue defending his range. So with this hand, I'm planning to bet 8 and usually jam most turns.
Let's take a look. Not quite.
Nope, I'm a fish.
Nope, not a fish, but highly bet 4 here.
If this was rainbow, I would bet 4.
Okay.
I thought it being two-tone would drive up our bet sizing. It does in cash games, but that's like all I studied. So
Yeah, there is almost 30% sizing up here, so it's definitely big elements of it. So where is our 6-5? So when we don't have the spades, we bet big.
kind of a one and done.
Yeah,
Stone
all of
cold bottom of
these
the
are
range.
one and done bluffs. Because we have so many strong value hands here. We get to turn.
Yeah, I
all of
would-
them into a bluff.
I would go large with this hand, and like I would go normal size with 9s. I don't know why 9s is polarizing here.
Nines is a little weird. I guess it just blocks so many continues.
I mean, they don't have that many like 9s that are calling though, right? Like a lot of their suited 9s fold pre-flop.
Yeah. But I guess maybe it blocks the completing value, right? It blocks all the gut shots that he has that completes. Ooh. Right. not
Do we
good.
ever just jam here? Probably not. Like we probably want to have more of a draw. Like if we have 8, 9 of spades or 10 queen of hearts or something, it probably just rips it.
Okay. So you think there is some ripping here?
With our range, yes. I don't think this hand's gonna rip though. I think it's just gonna call.
Well, we'll take a look quickly. See if there is any ripping. I think there might be some combo draws.
Yeah, and like ace king.
So, yep, there is a little bit of all in. Oh, that's here. So for our response here on the button, 35% ripping. And so this is all kinds of kings plus our best aces, ace king. When we do that, we have a bunch of bluffy stuff.
What about 10, 8 of spades, 9, 8 of spades? Combo
Those
draws.
ones are mostly just calling.
Okay.
All the combo
Um,
draws.
It's just going with the nut flush draws, like 9 outs plus the over.
Yeah, it really wants. I guess just because it's doing it with all the kings. We're just here with so many kings that just want to run equity before the board texture changes. So. Yeah, primarily with kings. Jacks are calling or folding. Yeah, a lot of folds with jacks. Okay. Guess we just have enough better stuff to call off. So our opponent checked, I guess.
Yeah,
Us.
I mean, it's yeah, it's not really a great card for his range.
Ooh. Look at that. Bet 4. I mean,
Yeah, like I was wondering if we
stack
ever check here, but I think this, yeah, just betting 4 because this card sucks for him.
Well, that card sucks for us now.
Yeah. I think we just range jam, to be honest. It kind of sucked because he has the king of spades.
I think we
But-
check back. I think we just check and take our equity.
So the king 10, 9, 8. So really we're on the 5th nut flush. I'm just gonna check the 5th nut flush on the river.
I'm
So-
jamming with this SPR.
Yeah.
Against a solver. In game, I'd probably check.
Both are very competitive options, right? Slightly better to jam here against the solver for sure. Right?
He just has to call with like 2 pairs. He has to call with straights. He has to call with sets if he has them. Like the SPR is so small, we just get called by so many worse hands still. And he doesn't have that many spades because the ace, jack, and queen are on the board. So he has king of spades. And the only 10x of 10 hands he has are suited, so he doesn't have any 10x really either. So it's just the king of spades X.
Yeah.
Maybe
But he
like
still
10,
has to
9 of
call
spades.
with a straight and a set and 2 pairs sometimes. So
Yeah, does he ever have the 10 of spades at all? I don't think it's in range, right? Like 10, 9 is because he doesn't have the opposite version.
no, he has. I don't think he has. I guess he has. No, he has no
So
10 of spades here. So
yeah, we only lose to the king really.
yeah, but he only has on king queen. All his other kings don't have a spade. To take this line. Set of aces. Poor guy. All right, queen 7. How frequently are you guys raising this?
0.
0. 0 is the right answer. Good job. All right. We will switch up now. So we've worked against the early position player. And we will move to the late position player. And take a look at our range construction here. 7.
3-bet.
3-bet. Let's go. Now against the cutoff, when we think pre-flop, our cutoff is going to be opening with suited 6s and offsuit 9s. So because they're opening with the offsuit 9s, we're attacking with the 8s, the 7s, the 6s, the 5s, and we can see that it's much more robust. It doesn't have to worry about having an ace or a king blocker so much. So we get to attack with all the offsuit broadways, but we also see a lot more flatting with these hands here. They're just okay to play a hand post flop in position with a pretty strong range advantage, right? We're just 3-betting all of these pairs, pretty high frequency. And so let's do that. And here we come to the reports. So when our opponent checks, let's take a look at our range construction here. On monotone boards, So we can see that we are pretty much range betting small. As we move up to the tens, we start having more sizing up to standard third pot. As there's more and more connection, we start sizing up again. We keep seeing that over and over. But again, just a lot of small betting. Our king is small betting a lot too. Queen small betting, jack small betting, 10 small betting, a little more polarized as we go down in the lower areas. Lower the flop card. Slightly bigger betting moves. On flush draw boards, common theme we see as the board becomes more and more connected in these 3-bet pots, we start finding some polar sizing. So 9-8 with a flush draw connected, it's getting there. 10-8, 10-9, very polarized, lots of checking, lots of big betting. Again, Jack 10, Jack 9, same thing. Queen 10, Queen Jack, same thing. King Jack, King Queen. Not using the all-in sizing, but still having some bigger bets. And again, our ace with a 9 and lower is betting small and fairly frequently, about 66% of the time. And when we have multiple broadways, we have a high check frequency and a slightly more elevated size on this. On the rainbow fish, we see the 4 sizing, like 1/3 pot, very prevalent throughout the lower part. As connectivity comes together with the 8 and the 9 together, we start seeing some polarization, even on rainbow boards. 9-10. Jack 10.
It's a quarter pot, isn't it?
4 into 16. Yep. 6, 12. Yep. That would be a quarter pot bet. And here we go. Finding some checks with kings, which is not something that is normal. A little surprising. I usually just bet king high boards pretty pure.
I mean, same with the ace size. Look at how much we're checking.
Yep.
What, ace Broadway?
Ace Broadway with a rainbow as different.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Before we move on, I have a question for our American audience that I think is really important. How cold is 9 degrees Celsius? See, is that cold there? How much is that in American?
I think it's like 50 maybe.
50. Damn, quite warm.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah, we use Fahrenheit.
And it's sunny.
Paired boards are betting smaller in the Broadway area, betting bigger the lower they are. Connectedness brings a little bit of polarization, but not a big spot.
Can you sort by big bet? You go to sort by, which is, see where it says sort by flops in the to the right, sir, and to the right, Peter.
I made myself look like an idiot in Europe.
No, not that one. Sorry, not that one. If you go
So over
over
by
to where the
it says
yeah,
all
right
in,
there,
yeah.
right there.
Okay.
Sort
Because-
by, I think you can sort by
Which size do you?
Yeah, probably the 8 sizing.
yeah, that's a good one.
I don't think we're gonna go much larger than that in general.
There we go. So I'm curious where, so yeah, so these big bets, where we have these rainbow small bets, and I guess that's because we've got the overpair advantage. So these
It's paired,
we are
so
these
what it is it's paired low, and he's not really gonna have anything in range because a lot of his pairs are gonna just jam pre-flop from the cutoff, versus our 3-bet. So
so-
he's gonna have a very, very hard time defending against a large bet on these textures.
Yeah, so we have to pair over advantage, I think. Over pair advantage. Thanks, man.
Just like, yeah, every type of advantage.
Nice. All right.
Sorry, Vivian, I interrupted you. What were you telling us?
Oh, I was saying I made myself look like an idiot in Europe with the, so my uncle said, hey, it gets below zero sometimes. I was like, holy crap. And then I was like, oh, you mean below zero, like 32 Fahrenheit, not below 0 Fahrenheit? And I forgot that I was in Europe.
You forgot you were
Yeah, and
anywhere else in the world.
I just popped in here learning. Let's study some button stuff. I'll have to watch the replay. I do like it.
No problem. You can catch the first half. We did button against under the gun. So we get a 10-6-3. Rainbow, disconnected, dry.
I know it goes check a lot, and I feel like we have a little bit of incentive to check, but I don't mind betting either because I'm a fish and I like betting, and I'm in position and I can get concern some equity.
Well, in a 3-bet pot, I think we have a high frequency.
Oh, it's a 3-bet
for it.
pot. Yeah, I'm betting. I think I like betting half pot, but I mean, you can bet tiny as well. But every time I bet tiny on this board, people will be like, you motherfucker, you're lying. And I'm like, yo, I'm not lying. I mean, I guess since we're so short that it bets quarter pot.
Whoa, look at that. King Queen folds to a 4-chip that. Are you
Yeah.
guys folding King Queen here?
I mean, yes,
I-
because King Queen off
Yeah.
is so often dominated.
It's hard to realize your equity.
I bet King Queen's mixing for them. I don't think it's a pure fold.
Probably. You take a quick look at that.
I don't think they have enough suited stuff to just fold all of their over cards, and that has a draw with it too. 2 overs plus a backdoor straight draw.
King Queen off. Getting frisky with a club. Folding primarily with like the heart spade.
Call some, fold some, raise some.
All right.
Similar to this, mostly call. You can raise though.
Okay, so we saw against under the gun, King Queen offsuit was 90% call. Does it change here?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like probably 60-40, call 40, 3-bet.
I think it's like a 25% 3-bet or something.
I like that too. Remember, like we saw there were a lot more calls with this offsuit branch than we had before. Yeah, 85% call, 15% raise. Oh. Well, this is pretty gross.
Oops.
So how high up in our range are we here? Are we more than 50% up the way of our 3-betting range?
This combo folds.
It's not 50% because the MDF is,
Yeah, it's gonna be less, right?
We're not anyway, are we?
we have to call about 35% of our range.
Call on all our pairs and then our good suited aces in these.
I can get behind this.
It's just,
What do you do with King Queen suited?
I don't think you're supposed to 3-bet.
I think king queen suited is a call.
Yeah, I don't think it rebets pre very much.
I don't think it's, yeah, it's just not a 3-bet. It wants to see a flop.
Let's take a look at our range construction here. So pre-flop. Yeah, that's the reason why king queen suited doesn't 3-bet, right? Is it doesn't want to have to make this decision of calling off. Ace queen's probably just good enough to call off.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And break my wrist calling ace queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it because I in my head, like I don't know what I do with king queen here. I know king queen off is a fold, but king queen suited seems so close.
So when it's this, what's our response?
Oh,
Sixes plus ace queen. Ace jack. I don't know if I'm finding this.
well, I mean, against
Yeah.
population, I don't think you need to find it against population.
What's his jamming range? Is it like how often is he jamming pairs? Is I guess what I'm looking at. Like is sevens a pure jam? Yeah, pretty much.
He's mixing 7, 6s, 5s, and 4s. But he's got 3s and 8s plus, really. And then just really good suited Broadway stuff and some suited wheels. Click. Occasionally flatting, protecting that flatting range. I know some people, when I flat queens, they're like, how could you flat queens?
Louis will personally come to your house and smack you for flatting here.
Yep. I do flat queens here. I'm a notorious queen flatter. All right.
I think this is a high frequency check.
King high
I think
board.
betting's reasonable.
King's really good for us, but if there is a check, I can get behind this combo, this hand checking.
Not high frequency.
The board is just such a range board it wants to bet, but this hand is going to be one of our higher frequency checks, I would think. Uh, 25%. So I guess we still do have all of these pairs here that are checking.
Wow.
Lots of our worst kings are checking. We're betting our best offsuit kings and checking our worst suited kings here a lot. So, okay. Range is protected. Well, that's good. Rainbow turn, so there is no equity improvement for anyone looking to draw something. So it's now the straight versus the over pairs.
I think we're gonna have some checks here.
I think we can check our bet small. I think either one's fine.
Check or
Um,
bet 4. I agree. I would mainly bet
think
4
we'll be-
now.
I think it'll be check 4 and we'll even have some other little 1.6 sizing.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, check and bluff catch, I think.
Yeah, when an opponent checks twice, and particularly on the 4 of clubs, because there's no backdoor equity, they're going to struggle to continue against bets. And so I am going to bet here. And I would even be venturing into this territory because they're going to call with all their 10s now.
I don't think we're gonna have that sizing because the flop point check. I think we're playing into capped ranges. Oh, nope, I'm wrong.
I agreed with you. Shoot.
I mean, it's just something I've seen a lot in the solvers. After the flop goes check, and then it checks again, you're playing
Maybe
with
it's-
capped ranges, so the sizings
Maybe
are
it's more
smaller.
in single race pots.
Single
Like
race
I've
pots?
seen it a lot in single race pot, but I haven't seen it yet in 3-bet pot. And this goes against it.
Oh, only
Something to
large.
look out for.
So we are polarized here. And so we are checking and we are betting. And so the worst hands that we are betting is like king 6, queens, jacks, and ace 10, queen 10 a little bit. So we are betting all of our kings, all of our 10s here, and our best 10s for value. Right, like it's printing 12 chips with ace 10 here. This is
It'd
definitely.
be
a value
interesting
bet.
to see. We should check in more spots, 3-bet pots, or look at them to see if this is a trend. Because there are set, like, yeah, maybe it's just single raise spots where it goes check, check, and you're playing with cap range, it's small. But I'm wondering if because it's a 3-bet pot and you're going into polarized ranges already, that you're not going to have small sizings in the same situation.
Mhm. So our opponent got here with lots of stuff and it all bricked the flush draw. Let's change this to the 4 of spades. Check, and our strategy still remains pretty consistent.
So I think, what if it's like an ace? I think with the ace, we'll have a lot of small betting, but other than that,
Might be even more polar. Yeah, look
even
at that.
then. That's awesome. Okay, cool.
Even more polar.
I need to look more into this.
So after we check flop, right? We have a 25% checking strategy. And the stuff we check with is traps with kings, traps with tens. Not king 10. King 5 is checking. King 4 checks sometimes too, which turns to pair here for us.
It's just funny
So-
because the 3-bet check line is a node Louis won't even let the group venture into. So this is like, it's like my first time seeing porn. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
What did we do when we checked the flop? We never checked the flop.
Wait, we checked the flop?
We checked
Oh
the
yeah,
flop.
I've watched enough of Lewis things and been in enough of his webinars that I know. But it's good for people who are learning the game and you're like, but then you're like, oh no, you never check the flop ever.
Yeah,
And
there's a rule.
then you get bad habits. I mean, it's a good rule in general.
Yeah. 3-bet, c-bet. I was showing a clip earlier today. Here it is.
But then you learn there's so
This
many
is all my
spots where that
notes.
3-bet, c-bet is untrue, and you're like, this is some bull crap. I'm gonna cry.
Where's my 3-bet, c-bet? It's on there somewhere. But yeah.
I used to have the same charts printed out and put on my room, posted up when I played.
I know my desk used to be such a mess. And now half of it's in my head and the other half I probably should try and remember. All right, ace jack. Oh, this
No,
We
this was
saw
a
this
call,
calls,
was a call,
right?
Yeah.
So again, here's my mistake. I just pure fold this. And I am supposed to call here. I'm still not sold on this.
Yeah, I don't think it's a mistake. Like, population aren't gonna jam enough bluffs.
That's what I see when I call.
Like, they're not gonna jam those suited wheel aces enough. They're not gonna jam those pocket pairs you're flipping with enough.
You need a read to call, basically.
This one though, I 3-bet this more than I should.
This is a good 3-bet combo. Gets lots of better
Yeah.
hands to fold. But you can also fold
And
it
it's-
too.
Zero
I
EV,
3-bet
you
my-
can do anything.
First the cutoff, I 3-bet my offsuit tens a very high frequency.
Ooh, completed equity, connected board, flush draw.
And
2 overs and a gutter. Are we calling on the purple people eaters?
I think we go 8-11.
So do we have
Oh,
9-10 in
interesting.
range?
All
Oh
in.
yeah.
I'm wondering, like, we really don't wanna get check raised, but going 8 seems weird. So maybe we do just rip it.
So hold on, before we click
We don't have
anything,
a
what do you
spade.
think? What do you think our check frequency is on this board?
Reasonable, like, 40%.
Okay.
Yep,
Do we have any straights?
yep, 9-10.
Yeah, we play
We
9-10
have-
suited, right? Sometimes.
No.
Or no, maybe that
don't
pure
three-bet
calls, huh?
it. Yeah, we just call.
First cutoff, I think it might get in there a little,
I don't think,
Yeah,
I
it's not
think
gonna
all
be
of
a-
our suited
but
connectors.
they have more of it. We can definitely say that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have pocket eights, we have pocket sevens, we have pocket sixes, even though I think sixes mostly calls. Three bet some. We have the overpair advantage. Yeah, it's just kind of a disaster.
What do we
I
do with
probably
jacks here?
I probably bet this hand and check if I have a spade, because I really, really want to see a turn if I have a spade.
I agree.
I mean,
I think because we don't have a spade, we want to generate fold equity. I think pocket jacks or pocket tens, particularly pocket jacks without a spade, would want to bet this size. So I think this combo is going to want to bet this size too. But we can take a look.
Yeah. I think half makes sense.
Nope. Half a
I wonder
punch.
how much we're checking here. Can we look? It might be like, yeah, 40-50%.
I think we might prefer to bet with a spade, cuz then we have some nice clean barrels.
The problem with betting is a spade is whenever you get raised, you have to fold your equity.
Yeah.
Or do you?
Yeah, we're checking
Globally
a ton.
checking 50%.
Maybe
of
we
the
just
time.
put it in there, you know?
Our bets are being driven by having a 9
Oh,
and by
okay.
having a 10.
Oh, we do have 9-8. What
Wait,
frequency do we have
we wanna
9-8?
have, we wanna
Oh, no,
have,
it's not 9-10. Yeah.
wait, we check a lot on this board. What is happening?
Yeah, well, it's completed.
So if
equity,
Lewis
it's
was in
locked up.
this, if Lewis was in this seminar, he would say 3-bet, C-bet, and we'd be like, burp.
Well, look at the EV. Like they actually connect very, very well with this board, and we actually don't.
So the 3-bet, C-bet is destructive.
So we have the range advantage throughout most of the board, but at the top it switches.
And so they can just jam it in our face. Is that what you're saying? I'm gonna C-bet and they're gonna jam in my face.
Yeah, this is.
And
not
I'm gonna
great.
Or just-
cry.
Or raise normal. Yeah, it really just does suck to get raised off this hand, huh? And off a
like-
lot of hands we have.
Poker is
We-
hard.
We have lots of good hands, but they have the best hands. So we have the range advantage, but they have the nuts advantage. So that
And
makes
we
us-
have more weak hands than they do as well. Oh no, vice versa.
Yeah, we can
No,
trash.
I'm right. Yeah, we have more weak and trash. Yeah, so they just connect better in general, but we have the overpair advantage.
But they have the straight advantage here, right? Where
Yeah.
we don't have 9-10, they do.
And they have more sets. Oh, maybe not. No, they're jamming their sets.
So that means our range wants to check a lot.
Yeah, 80% check, 20% bet there on the flop. And we bet, and we get this brickiest of brick turns. Can we just take our Jack 10 to showdown, or do we have to double barrel this? The 3-bet.
I'm
pot?
barreling. Because I have the 10 of hearts is why I'm barreling. And the jack of clubs also good. Because you block like Jack 9 of clubs.
Okay, stack to pot ratio
Oh.
is getting small. Like, how are you going 6?
Probably 12, like 12.
Okay.
And 6.
Can we
Don't-
check fold?
Don't they have more
Mhm.
fives than us here?
They have no, they don't have any fives.
Pocket fives?
Yeah, I mean,
They're mixing, jamming, and calling pocket fives pre-flop, and then they're jamming ace-5 suited pre-flop, so they have very few
Okay.
fives.
yeah, I mean, Ryan had a point. We can check and give up here. But when I think of hands that are at the bottom of our range, like this might be our worst hand.
I'm also nitty, like I'm the population descriptor when you guys are talking about population won't do this. So yeah, I'm ready to just, pull the ripcord on this one. Give up.
If
Bet
it helps,
12
I'm the
if we're
complete,
Whoa! Oh,
I'm
Calvin,
the
it's
complete
win.
opposite.
Parachute
So
Ryan.
what are we betting here? I thought the 10 of hearts was a good card to have. I thought we didn't want a spade, and we want to be blocking the backdoor flush draws and the straight.
Okay. Jack ten is just a check.
Well, queen ten.
It's betting with the better stuff. It's just checking because Jack ten can realize equity better. with straight
Which
and
queen ten is it
overs.
betting?
Uh, It is
Okay, so I
betting
was
with a spade and hearts.
right on the 10 of hearts, just rolling combo. Okay.
Yeah. This hand just has direct equity to a straight. So it just decides to check it.
Well, yeah, it's like I'm ready to give up, but we also have a draw that nuts. So, like,
Yeah, we really want a 9 to come and we stack them, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if they have a bear 10.
Yeah, the problem is like the only hand, like this is literally the worst hand we have here. Right? Like all of this stuff is better than Jack 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
but
if you make them
it's a-
fold, it's sometimes
it's
a hand that,
effectively,
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
God damn it.
Alright, I'll go. I was gonna say, you make
Alright,
them
so I
fold
was
a
gonna-
hand you might not, you might not mind them seeing the river with. Like a naked 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jack 10's effectively the same hand as queen 10, like you're beating the same hands. So,
So
Yeah.
we get this miracle 10. We've gotten here to the river house somehow with maybe the most marginal hand. Is this just a check back? Or do we need to go for greed?
Surely
Hard to
it's
know
a
what
check.
would call
Now
us,
with this.
except maybe nines.
this sucks. This is so close.
If this isn't a
Um,
check, I'm
Nines are straight.
amazed.
Yeah,
This has to be a
this is
check.
a check.
My thought process here is whenever I get here, do I want to have bluffs?
Oh yeah.
We will. So where are we gonna bet from how far down in our value range do we need to go to be able to bluff? Are we betting ace 10? I think we're betting ace 10 if we have it. I think we're betting king 10 if we have it. This is really close in my head though.
He has
I
a lot of
probably
nines
would.
that gets all the way to the river.
He has a lot of nut nines too though, and he has ace 8, he has ace 7, you know, like my problem is he has better 10 still.
All right.
This is-
Yeah.
Is
Oh
just
my
checking or
goodness.
skewing. Both are very competitive.
Yeah, I thought it was close.
King 6.
Yeah, are we like pure betting king 10 and ace 10?
Oops.
It's kind of a sick merge.
How deep is our love? So when it's checked to us, we are betting, of course, all our nines and just ace 10. King 10 and queen
Interesting.
10 are checks and jack 10, which unblocks, I guess, some stuff.
What?
We want him to have a king or a queen because then he also has a smaller pair.
Which jack 10 combo? It was only like 2 of them. The one with the jack
Yeah.
of clubs
Yeah,
and
you wanna
not the
you wanna-
spade.
unblock spades and hearts. Right? So
Okay.
Jack of clubs primarily.
Right. That makes sense.
Do a couple more here. Ace queen, is anyone knitting it up here and just calling here?
You can call some.
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Actually,
All right.
Or mainly? Is it?
yeah, I
is
think
it
it's
mainly a call?
mainly. I think it's mainly a call and 3 bets like 20%.
Love it. All right, but today is
Yeah,
3
yeah,
bet
yeah.
day, so no calling. But I am glad to hear that people are flatting ace queen. All right.
Oh,
But
Lewis would
when
say,
we do
don't flat
three
ace king, ace queen. He would say, oh my God, you knit.
bet-
And then he would chastise you, and he's a good coach if you're a knit.
So.
I
we're
wanna bet.
referring to
C bet, C bet, C
the-
bet.
we're referring to the guy who has mentored me for the last 3 years throughout this. So,
He's mentored me too.
Yeah. if
I
you wanna
s-
see some
I
of his
started
work
out-
with-
I started out showing him the most boneheaded hand histories.
And he has lots of great content to check out. He's done hand history reviews for me. He's done database work for me. So 660 subscribers, 259 videos, just a gold mine of content. Oh, look at this. Danny takes down the Boski.
That is
Maybe that's a
epic.
good
He also took down the 22 re-entry.
Danny's on
Did I
fire.
tell
Alright,
you
King
guys
Nine.
about entering a 630 tournament on accident and not winning? Not
Yeah.
even can.
That sounds like a
I did-
misclick.
The old misclick.
If I
I
won
did that,
100,
except it was a $444 tournament and it was a PKO and I like accidentally registered the last level. And then I got
Oh,
12th place.
That was a famous one. Oh
Sick
no,
brag.
I registered it on my phone.
Louis, I was trying to sell Louis like, you know what, I'll take 20%. He's like, you're my hero.
maybe I would have ran. Like they totally teased me. I was like, oh shit, I ran 8s into 10s and I hit an 8 on the turn and they hit a 10 on the river. I'm like, I could have done with just like the all
This
brick
is a
run
pure
out.
fold.
The pure fold.
Yeah, I think we
Sliver,
want to 3-bet like
maybe?
ace 9 and stuff like that sometimes, but I think ace
Actually,
7 is
you,
fold.
you might be, I think there's like a 10% 3-bet and then the rest is a fold.
I would pure fold chippy V. ICM, you could start getting in there.
Little
Good,
wide.
but it doesn't lose as much EV to 3-bet. So if
Nope,
you're
that's
gonna get in
fine.
there, it's okay. What if he's
If
just
you-
opening a little bit too wide?
Hmm.
Then it's plus EV.
If the person's on their third vodka gimlet over here and they're splashing around a little bit, yeah, you can give them a little squeeze with that ace 7. All right, king queen suited. King queen suited.
Your
How's
call.
this in here? Your call. All right,
Just jam and run our equity.
let's go.
Ah.
Folded an ace. Savage. All right. Ace queen. Today is 3-bet day, so we give it a 3-bet, even though we know it's the majority flat response. Ooh, we get Stuffaluffagus.
This is a
Easy
call.
call.
Easy call. Lots of pairs over there. Just gonna run equity against ace king.
Jamming worse aces.
All right, ace 9.
This is a pure 3-bet.
Pure 3.
I think it
I
misses,
love
but
it.
it has high frequency.
30%.
No, it's like 90.
50-50.
Oh wait, it
But-
calls.
Oh.
Oops.
Yeah,
Is it-
I thought it mixed folding.
I am 3-betting this a lot.
Maybe it's ace 8 that was like 90. One of them was a lot.
Whoops. And it's just queens again.
Alright, I need to get that
Ooh,
more in my game.
ooh.
I'm missing that one.
Ace deuce. How loose is your deuce?
I don't think we get the 3-bet from this range. I think we just call.
I think it's a pure call.
Call.
33%.
Okay. We don't have this one.
Let's take a
It's
look
like
at
the only,
that. Wheels. Maybe it's
the only wheel
deuce
ace.
and 3. Yeah.
Sometimes the
probably gonna
deuce is
be-
the island, huh? We'll see.
the
Yeah,
deuce
yeah,
and
a
3
lot
and
of the
not
time.
4 and the 5. Yeah, deuce and 3.
Okay.
Because you have coverage with king 4 and king 5. Right? So you look, it's this line of 3
Oh,
betting
look
here.
at that.
Your
Pretty.
queens tag off down to the king 5 to ace 3 to ace 2. Bling, bling, bling. Go a little Mario Brothers there. I think that's Hubert maybe. Hits the deuce. Wow. King queen with a flush draw. Oh, Our range wants to bet, our hand wants to regret. It's sin.
Gotta blast our way out.
Last eight,
Nah, I
Danny?
mean, we start
I'm-
with 4.
Oh,
We start with 4. But I have some plans for later streets potentially.
alright. Danny's lacing up the the shoe. He's getting out to the 35-yard line. He's planning to kick it. Lush completes.
Maybe not now.
Okay.
You coward.
Yeah, we shut it down now, I guess.
Uh,
We can beat ace 10, you know?
Yeah, we just need a brick ace of spades here, so.
Yeah, just check.
King
Alright.
7.
Nice hand.
Gross to call my 3-bet with king 7. Alright, how frequently are you 3-betting pocket sixes here?
20%.
I like that answer.
Yeah, I am calling a lot here.
Oh,
2%.
too much.
Wait, is sevens the floor then?
Let's take a peek at that.
Maybe 6 is like the main call and then we pick back up with some like 4s and 3s and. Like, does that ever get in
No,
there?
I
Okay.
think the
never mind.
lowest one is just call.
Pre-flop tree. It is, yeah, there's just a sliver of sixes. It's really sevens. But eights is that island, right? Where eights drop off and then sevens pick up and then sixes are gone.
And the low ones are just pure calls.
Yeah, everything else is just pure set mining.
Okay.
8s block their bottom.
Okay, so when we do find the 2% 3-bet here, and we get a queen 8-7 rainbow board. Disconnected, high, medium, medium.
Think we can just check.
I'm checking this
So-
hand as well.
I think we bet some, I think. Turn on the pairs into bluffs. I'm not bet for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
bet like Jack 10, King 10, Ace 9. Just a lot of stuff before this hand, and we're not gonna have a ton of value hands either.
I wouldn't be
This is a-
shocked if it's 50-50.
This is a 3-bet pot, so I kind of am defaulting here. But it is just pure
Oh.
checking.
It's-
And like I'd bet jacks and tens before this hand. Like sixes, I think like one of your best checks. A queen high
These
board isn't
underpairs
particularly
surprise me
great for a 3-bet
sometimes.
range. Probably checking what, like 40%?
Like, it
can't
is
see how much is it.
50-50. It's just pure checking our combo for, okay. So if we have, what is it?
You wanna
If we don't have a
2 of
club,
the- Yeah, you don't want to have a club.
okay. 50-50, alright. I feel better now.
Yeah, club bad, everything else.
If you're blocking his auto folds.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, fish in the boat,
Easy
right?
call.
Oh, nice turn, yeah. I put in 4. Show me the river. Oh. Do we bluff?
Having a diamond not good, having 6 is really good. But I mean, he doesn't expect us to have a 6 here very much. Like, we don't have any straights in a 3-bet pot.
So we
The
check
king is-
flop, we call time. It's hard. I think we check that. Take a
We
sliver
have
of
some
equity.
slow plays, we have some kings. Do we beat anything here? We beat like, What do we beat?
We beat a 5. We beat ace 5.
So what are the
Would
worst
bet
hands
that?
we call the bet on the turn with?
All the ace high diamonds, right? Ace 2 of diamonds.
Mm-hmm. That we
really,
didn't bet flop.
any diamonds we arrive with.
Or do we want to bluff with diamonds?
No,
No.
I think we can because his probe range isn't necessarily flush draws. So yeah, because of that, I think it's probably a check.
King is just a good card for us in a 3-bet pot. I would be tempted to turn this into a bluff.
Yeah, I
I am
kinda
too.
like bluffing. Do you wanna all in
But
or
I-
do you want a 14? Like, would we bet king nine for all in sizing if we had it?
No, we would bet ace king all in here.
I think this might be just a little too high up in range to bluff, so.
It's just a check.
Okay,
And
it's
not
close
even-
between that and the 14.
But the 14
We will
size,
have. We will have bets for sure, but yeah. We just have a lot of rivered kings. I'd say a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have that many. Like we have ace king still pure. And other than that, I think we're just calling with like our kings with flush draw. Like I don't think king 10 off is calling the bet on the turn.
King six of anything. King four diamonds.
here with ace deuce and ace 3 of diamonds, which occasionally go for it. And they're all
Yep,
going.
so. It does bluff
Wait,
diamonds,
king-
right?
Oh, king
Yeah.
six checks back. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just the worst kings, king 6, king 4, are just the worst kings we have here. Right, even king 10.
It's cuz, they still have a few traps, huh? Like, in
Yeah.
game, in my pools, I would probably value bet king six, cuz I'm not really worried about getting trapped here.
Yeah, it's going with it with all the 2 pairs. And that's it. Right, ace king a little bit too.
I think it's not
Kings-
betting king 6 because you really want your opponent to have a 6.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, it's not betting king ten either. Well, this could be the same thing. Wait.
Yeah, it's not betting king 10.
Wait, why do you want them to have a six? You want them to not be trapping the straight.
They don't have the straight in range.
When they have a
They don't have
6,
six.
Okay, true.
yeah,
but
like you
they're-
want them to have a 9, a 10, or a 6 in their hand, because then they only have 1 pair.
If they have a 6, they might stab the turn a lot.
Uh, That
6,
is a good
7,
reason.
6, 5, ace 6.
Ace. I didn't get all our chips, he had aces.
We played 6s pretty well then.
What a nerd.
Alright. Take queen off. We've seen this one, 15% raise. Snuffleupagus. Get out of dodge.
He always has it. He never bluffs.
This one. Queen 7 suited.
I know
Three
that
bet.
king 6 likes 3-bet. 3-betting seems legit.
Do it.
So remember, it's the queen
Yeah, it's-
8, 7, 6, 5, and then it picks up with king 5, and then ace deuce and ace 3. 45%, king 7. Queen
That
7.
is a ton. Wow.
Why does he keep jamming on us? This is some bullshit. I just
Come on.
wasted 7 big blinds. You know, I'm gonna go cry. He jammed ace jack on me. I should have called and sucked out on his ass. Okay.
Jam into this.
Oh, look at this Galen here.
Oh,
20% of the time, Galen is in the house. But today is 3-bet day, so there's no trapping. King
Range
paired
bet small.
forward,
Look, that's
one,
small.
4 or 1.
1.65.
Either one.
I always think if I had 3 kings here, how big would I want to bet? I want to keep the fish on the line.
Wow, you are so smart. We can check back or we can bet like 4.9 because he still has some pairs in his range.
I would be sizing.
I'm
it
betting
now.
8
Let's
or whatever
triple
half
jar.
pot is. I don't think small really makes a lot of sense.
Oh, actually, if I mean 8 makes
Mix.
sense
Yeah.
too. Like we're just gonna say that he's gonna if he's calling, if we're only targeting, if he's calling 8, he's calling 4, and our king's gonna get the money in too.
'Cause when we go bet the flop, sure, we're narrowing his range of betting a lot, but on the turn, on a paired board, I think we're gonna be polarizing a lot of the time.
Yeah, check is fine. I mean,
No, I'm
We're gonna
ripping it.
jam here.
you're gonna
Yeah,
go broke against king five.
we're for sure value
Perfect.
jamming.
It actually similar E EV.
Called us
Oh
two
my
streets of pocket
gosh, he
fours.
called he didn't believe us. So if I know that he's not gonna believe us.
That is
So
disrespectful.
this is a GTO jam, but I feel like you either need to read that they're sticky or some particular history to necessarily like always take this. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I like the jam, like in case I have like. What kind of
We
pairs
don't-
are they calling? I know they have.
we don't have the ace of
Maybe it
spades. I
is
think
just
if it-
always an easy
I think
layup.
if you have the ace of spades, this might check one.
I know I'm checking back a lot in game. You do get calls from tens, jacks, queens, but
It is
I
just
have too
fold
many
going for
things
it.
I wanna bluff here, though. I wanna bluff queen jack with the
Exactly.
spade and queen ten with the spade and.
That's like how I always think my river spots is, do I want to have bluffs here? And if I do, how much of my value range do I have to bet that sizing? So I'm gonna have a lot of bluffs here and I don't have enough king X to cover those. So I'm gonna be jamming aces even in game. And I expect to get called by like 9X from a lot of opponents, even like maybe pocket eights, pocket sevens, without a spade, something like that.
And I mean, it is very clearly profitably jamming pocket tens here,
Wow.
even pocket sixes.
What's the,
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like I don't go as thin as I should, I guess, with the tens and you know, because we only bet one on the flop, they might be calling a lot of their shit they have to call.
I think I agree with Danny. It depends on the opponent. If it's a call station, I shove. If not,
It's 3-bet day, but this is a call mainly. I don't know. I was accidentally.
yeah, it can get a little scary, huh?
yeah.
So
We're
they have a
living
lot
on
of
the edge of
kings
the
here.
knife today. It's 3-bet day. There is no call out.
Honestly,
No
though,
safety
you're
nets.
gonna be surprised when you start going for the certain value bets. Like when you go bomb with like ace king, and you're like, I'm sure that if I get called on the river, that I'm probably not good. But you're like, no, you're gonna get called by certain opponents. So you fucking need to go bomb sometimes.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, I
It's
think what
just
you both
good.
said has merit. Like GTO
And
is your base
also-
learning tool, and then as you go against players, you make extreme adjustments to exploit. Like you can go very, very far with exploitations, but you just have to know the base theory and then venture off from there.
Well, that was the whole
Don't they
purpose
have
of
to
us.
raise some of their king X at some point though? Like I don't remember actually the strategy, but aren't they raising the king X on either the flop or the turn? Or are they
They'll
just
have raises
gonna-
on the flop because we bet so small. They'll have raises, but
yeah, so they're not gonna necessarily go check call with all their king X.
Nope.
And they actually don't, how
Yeah.
many offsuit king X
That's a
do
good
they
point.
fold pre-flop actually?
How many king X did they
like-
deal with?
They're
I'm
probably
actually,
calling
like
I'm
queen,
interested,
king,
I'm
jack,
interested
off,
in,
flush.
I'm still on the previous hand. No, this is this hand.
Yeah, we're going back to it. We're taking a look. So how much do they have here on the flop after we bet? So trips. So they are kind of 50-50, calling with their best ones and check raising their worst.
So
ones.
they actually don't have that many offsuit combos of king X. So we're just assigning them monsters under the bed by not jamming our dang aces here. We're being nits because on the flop they only have these combos pre-flop. They're
Can
gonna
you go range
fold.
height, Peter?
They're gonna fold king 10, king 9.
Oh, it's pretty. It's there.
They're all
Big
there.
eight.
But yeah,
So, yeah.
huh.
They're all there,
then-
but remember that suited combos of king X. They only have 2 combos of the king 4, king 5, king 6, king 7, king 8, king 9,
Do they
king
ever
10.
raise turn as well when we polarize? Does like king
So-
queen find a jam
When
on
we
the
bet turn,
cutoff? Yeah, there.
Cutoff here. And they're
Yeah,
jacks.
king, queen.
So they're
Oh, they're all
calling.
jamming, huh?
They call these ones. They're primarily jamming, so they don't get there to the river with a lot of kings.
Oh, the gray is
Okay.
all in.
That's
Oh, I mean,
assuming
this-
they don't over slow play, right? Which some
No,
opponents
it's
will.
good that we look at this, especially actually like with the two-tone, like if we're thinking about exploiting and live play. A lot of people, they see a flush draw and they're like, I have to protect from the flush draw, and then, or "Oh, it's gonna look bluffy if I, so they're gonna get it in at some point. So they don't play the check call line with as many combos of king X, and then they also don't have as many pre-flop as I thought.
So you
because
can just go crazy on them.
No, it means you should be value betting your aces.
Yeah.
I mean,
And bluff
I
them.
think we're getting too far into the weeds here. It's like you're gonna have exploits against particular players. Sometimes you should never bet aces. Sometimes you should always bet aces. If you don't know, you should default to GTO. But as you gain more info on your opponent, absolutely go with whatever you think will make you the most money in the long run. Like
So here we
I
go.
played a 600 big blind pot with queens on ace high board. And I was correct. Like I had like 6-5 offsuit or 9-5 offsuit.
Easy.
And now we're
Cash
on
game
this
too.
one. Check. And now I
Check.
think
That small a lot. Jack 9. Little bit of stufflophagus with ace jack, and with the open-ended straight with the spade blocker.
wait, what bet size is all in?
Yep, there's a little bit of purple.
Oh,
just
that's
jam
2x
ace
pot.
jack.
2x pot. Okay, so it's not like 5x pot. Okay, 2x pot all in.
Yep.
Ace jack. Let's go.
Let's go.
I like it.
But a pretty high frequency check on the flop too. Our opponent
Yeah, it's
calls.
connected. I think I bet this too much. Like, how much was this board checking as a whole?
About 40%.
This checks 40%.
Jack 9-3 with a flush draw. Yep.
Yeah, we have a lot of ace highs and king highs.
So this is where
Okay.
Lewis's 3-bet c-bet is gonna gets me in trouble because I bet on this board way too much, and then I get raised, and then I'm like,
So we've taken the 3-bet c-bet line, which is an approved line here on this board.
I
And we
mean,
get
you don't
the
really give a
queen of
shit if you fold
spades.
this one, but there's a lot of hands where you do give a shit when you have to fold.
Is
I'm
this one
checking
that
as well.
is checking out.
Yeah, check. Oh, actually,
Yep.
So, we don't have a spade. We have a gut shot. We just kind of want to get the showdown as cheap as possible here. We have like one of our
oh,
best ace highs.
Ooh. So
Hmm.
in game, I would probably go for thin value here.
if they check
Is
to
that
you,
a
they
size though?
No, it's probably gonna want to go
not
14 or
when we're in
25,
position.
but I'm gonna
Every
try and
high
get a call.
spade is there, but the ace or 10. I mean,
that's why I
it's
wanna go.
tempting. It's very tempting. We're probably, I don't know, I'm torn. This feels a little thin.
My instinct is to go small, but the answer is to go big here, right?
Wow.
Blocking the king, the queen, the jack, and the 9 of spades, like, there's the ace of spades that beats us, the 10 of spades that beats us, and not a lot else. It's gonna have some other smaller spades, but our straight
This is a
just
sick
too
value
high
bet.
up. Too high up in the value range.
All in. Did we get him?
And he just
No, he
has
got
this-
us. Nice try.
Nice try.
What do you do if you get here with sevens without a spade?
Sevens without a spade.
Yeah.
Check, give up.
Same thing, maybe.
I'm like always ripping it.
All in.
All right, we're gonna take a look at those sevens without a spade on the river. So our strategy, sevens without a spade. Always ripping. Rip those under pairs.
Sick.
Yeah, I mean, you have to find some bluffs.
Cause you're checking
Yeah,
back
those-
all your sets.
Those are the fun ones where I'm just screaming fold at my computer.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, ace deuce, we saw this before, right? It's ace deuce,
50,
king four, king five,
40,
queen up to 8,
30.
very high frequency. And just get stuffed on again. Raise. Raise, really? Like people fold when I 3-bet. Pocket threes. Alright, we've seen queen 7, virtual nuts. Ooh, king, queen 10, rainbow. Our board wants us to bet, our hand is screaming to check. Can we
Just bet
meet in the
4.
middle? Alright. Yeah, oh, our hand does check sometimes.
When in doubt.
5, 4.
Whip it out.
Let's do 1 or 2 more. King Jack. How often are you guys 3-betting this one?
End game, like 50, 60%.
Okay.
And a solver, it's gonna be like 20.
Good job. Whoa, the nuts. Super disconnected rainbow board.
I don't think we're gonna have like 30% flex here, but I'm definitely betting this hand and I'm definitely sizing up.
To 8.
Getting while the getting's good.
Yeah,
I don't know if we, I'm torn between 8 and 4. I like both. I don't know if we necessarily have to go 8 on this texture. Even though our hand would like to, kind of.
I think with an ace or a king kicker, I can get behind this, and then with a queen or a 10 kicker, I can get behind this.
that's how I split my
Okay.
range.
I think I like 4. Yeah.
It's just he's jamming ace jack as well, so I'm not really scared about that. But there's so many turns we can't really bet.
Yeah, it is
Just a 4 board.
But if
King
it
Jack
does
is
find
the
a
hand.
that it wants to bet, it is King Jack. Oh,
And
'cause
queen
it
5
unblocks all
suited.
his, it unblocks all his floats with an ace, that's why. Right, he's gonna float the spade, the heart, and the diamond with the ace. Not having an ace is good here.
Our hand's too good.
Size down to 8.
Yeah. No, we can't size down. We have to jam.
Size down to
unfortunately.
3.
All in is what you
I wanna
said?
bet
Okay,
3.
I wanna go all in.
So
All in makes
No,
sense.
I don't know what I wanna do in reality.
our range really wants to bet this card. Like,
I mean, I guess if our range wants to bet it a lot, then 9 can be. I mean, no, I want to go all in. We said we're going to go all in,
Okay.
and sometimes like our range wants to go all in,
No,
and
it
there's
can't be all
oh,
in. It's still
yeah, it is 8 because it's just so awkward betting a 4th pot on the flop. It's
On the
just
turn.
like, I mean, on the turn, betting 1/4 pot is so awkward. On the flop, it's not, but on the turn, it is. Really, we had. Oh, never mind. We had. What the fuck?
Lord,
Wait, if we jam turn, he might have folded.
we
Should have
might-
jammed.
Well, I mean, are you folding ace jack on that turn? I don't think.
He wouldn't fold.
The solver
love-
generally doesn't.
I love these polarized the flop spots, and then you're like, all right, and now I'm gonna bet small on the turn. Like, what?
Well, it's a function of the king being so good for your range.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah,
pot, Right, so. Ooh, the 99, queen 6-5.
If you 3-bet, you have to c-bet because my name's Lewis, so I'm gonna c-bet and I'm gonna c-bet a fourth now since I learned. And then
Don't.
I'm gonna get raised.
I think
and
you
then
get
I'm
some
gonna
checks
go
here too.
fourth.
I like
Okay,
to
it's
bet
gonna
with this
be,
one.
it's gonna
I
be a
would mainly
40%, 30% check, 30% check.
See
But
bet
I like c-betting because I wanna get value from their fucking cards that they have in their hand.
So you're gonna get
The
value
fucking
from
card.
from a 6 and a 5, but you're gonna lose value to a queen.
And I'm gonna also get value from flush draws, ace king, pocket fours.
Pocket sevens and eights more
Oh,
like.
it
Lots of
can check. I mean, because it's kind of close as an underpair, it likes to do it. Like this is why I return. If it checks 60% of the time and it bets 4.1.
So are
mean-
tens and jacks checking more or less often than nines here? Cause you need less protection, but you can also get value from more under pairs.
I think
Actually, no, they
check
jam all those
more.
pairs pre,
Yeah.
never mind, what am I saying?
Yeah.
So they'll check more then, right?
So
Yeah,
our
slightly.
9s, 8s, 7s, okay. 10s, jacks, so they're checking a little bit more.
Tens and jacks have more incentive to check, and then nines and eights can also have backdoor runner straight.
It's not about getting value from worse overpairs. It's that they're more vulnerable to being outdrawn. There's more bad cards to come.
Yeah.
In
You want
some
value, but you
scenarios, both
also don't
factors are at
mind a
play.
fold. Like
But here they never
when
have
I
the
have
pair.
jacks, I don't want jack 10 to fold. When I have nines, I want jack 10 to fold. I want king jack to fold.
Oh, well, we get the okay. Please
Now
say we
check.
get back now.
Wait, not so fast.
Wait.
Alright, check.
Okay.
I like
Daddy.
this
Yeah,
as
pure
a
check.
check.
Alright.
I like
Ooh,
checking.
we-
You know what? It's just way too thin to open the action up. Our bet has to be big. In
There's no
position.
value to be had anymore, right? Like what worse hand can call?
Like you're hoping that they just don't believe you. Yeah, I've been trying to catch myself on these damn rivers to not be dumb and be like, oh, I can get value from.
Well, do we want to have bluffs?
Yeah, but this is not a bluff and this is not a value hand. That's
No, I think we bet nines to the 9 of spades. I don't think we bet this hand, but I think it is close. To where we're gonna have to bet like nines, tens, or jacks with the spades a portion of the time.
I'm torn. I think tens with a spade, we can consider it. Not even.
we're checking back
Nope.
tens and jacks.
But what's the worst value?
It's
hand
just
then?
like, what can call us, right? Like what? We're hoping he gets sticky with a 6?
So, I don't think about my range as in what can call me. I think of like if you have bluffs or value hands, it doesn't matter what they do. It's just about having the proper amount of both, right?
Yeah. And
But it is
so here,
also
Queen 10
sometimes a
bottom of the
useful
river.
exercise. Queen 10.
Yeah, Queen 7 checks back, Queen 10 bets. I mean, Queen 7 checks back with 18 chips, like it's good.
Is like 9, 10 jacks are the kind of hand where I might bet like 6 or 7 as an exploit because people don't raise enough over the small bets on the river.
I hate when that happens and they small bet and you're like, you do get value. I haven't tried it as much, the small bets on the river, but you know, I need to start raising those fucking bets because I hate these assholes that keep betting a third and they think that they are amazing for betting a third and they know that I'm gonna call them because I'm like, oh,
If
look
you
at me.
jam there, they'll fold a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna start finding spots, you know?
Alright,
My coaches have
So-
been finding these spots and they're just like, you won't believe what I got away with in this high roller where I 3-bet jammed the river with some bullshit.
3, 4, 7.
this
Yeah,
some
I
big
like
bets.
I like betting
Yeah.
large.
I like large betting as well because they're gonna have an issue defending this board.
Think we go small for that reason.
Right.
You know,
No,
I
it's like
learned
the
that you're
same as,
supposed to overfold on high card boards and overcall and defend on these boards, over defend out of position. Now I think we're gonna still bet because we have no benefit to check.
So
It's the
diamonds
still
brick,
bottom, right?
hearts brick, spades brick. So if there's a 4 that we wanna bet, it's this one.
It's the bottom of our range. Let's go 12.5.
I'm team
12.25.
check, check, give up.
I'm team, I
Um,
don't give up. 12.25. They called us with too many overcards on the turn.
So our range is gonna do a whole lot of mixing here. So we get to the river with everything because we're gonna be just like pretty much be betting the bottom of the range up. So I think we're gonna check this a lot and we're gonna bet 12.
Can still
Alright.
bluff some rivers.
Let's say I agree, yeah. Check for 12.
I just want to punt.
Yeah.
my
Never
Oh, I
checking.
got it. I
Grab
got the
those
right
lasers.
answer, guys. I've been spewing the bullshit. Now I got the right answer.
Can we take a peek at our range? Like I know
sure.
I'm betting.
We
from the
got a
bottom
better
up, so
hand
I'm
to
betting this
fold.
low,
I
yeah.
have the queen 8. He has the queen jack, and he had the best hand, and he folded. You guys, we are gods. We're geniuses.
We got one, we got one hand right. I mean, hold the boat. Alright, so what is it? Here we are. This note here.
Yep.
Alright, so,
Wow,
this is just not checking.
Never mind. All right, cool.
Just no checking, wow.
We just
Checking.
have this massive overpair advantage that they don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
That's
and it's
cool.
also the 4 of clubs, so he turns no flush draw equity.
Someone take a picture of this and send it to Louis. Say we found a range polarized turn bet spot. You can range C bet and then range polarized because we found a spot you can do it.
Boy, flush draw, and now it has some jams.
I love poker.
I thought you hate poker.
No, I don't know if I ever said that. Well, I mean, sometimes when I'm studying, but usually I like poker.
I love
you
poker,
just-
but I hate what it does to me.
Finding the
I
jams
hate
with the
that,
guts.
like, all I know that I can be doing better things in this world, and I'm addicted to poker. What's up with that?
Queen
But
five
then
suited.
also, it makes me such a good network
Universal
of people
bluff.
that I wouldn't met
This is the one.
without it.
Okay.
This is
So
the.
it's pretty positive. All right,
Alright, let's try to get some hands in, Viv. Save the stories.
I'm all in. I'm folding. I'm all in. Why do they keep having hands when we 3-bet them? And now we look like we're pushovers.
Bet.
Yeah, I 3-bet this actually.
I learned this
I
one
was saying
recently.
fold, but I think I
Really?
fold this.
Shit,
I fold this
don't
hand
do that.
too much.
High frequency.
It's 3-bet day. Get your shoes out. We're gonna be splashing in deep water. Oh, love it.
Now
I
4.1. 4.1.
So what's
No,
our strategy
1.65.
on ace high
1.65.
monotone boards?
I'm probably just check folding this. Ace high monotone
or
boards,
bet
we're
small.
actually gonna, yeah, we're gonna have a fair amount of checks, but we're also gonna have a small bet portion.
I mean, I know that like our worst hands like to give up if you want to go that direction, but I want to
Better
bet
small.
I want to bet 1.65 now.
I think there's gonna be some mixing between checking and betting the small sizes here, but probably betting. Want to generate the fold equity that.
I don't think he's gonna put on.
Yeah,
his
I would
calling
bet 4 with this
hat.
hand, right?
I think it's checking like 80% of the time plus. I could be wrong. I'm pure check folding this though.
I'm betting.
Wow.
small.
1.65.
See, that's what I said. Yeah,
You
Wow,
got it.
I got it.
Not a lot of EV
that's all the
difference,
fold
but
equity we need, huh?
That's
yeah,
all.
it's just
Alright, we lose.
How
win.
dare he donk into us?
Oh, thank you for donking. What?
Oh, what? Wait, why? Wait,
good
we're supposed to
call.
call with 10 high on this board?
10 high,
you're
no
supposed to
draw.
raise.
Click, click back.
We're floating to bluff some spades or what?
Yeah, I think.
No, we're supposed to say
This is
You are
2006 poker.
you are not allowed to donk into me. And if you do donk into me, it's not going to be 2.95.
This is like the Phil
So
Hellmuth
you're
hand.
gonna check to me on the turn and I'm gonna bet and you're gonna
No,
fold.
the dunk is because we bet small on the, yeah, here we go.
What the hell?
Well,
Wait,
I'm all
we're
in.
all
Oh,
in.
No,
that's
yeah,
what I
you
said.
are.
I'm not gonna go all
When you
in.
play this, you have to jam. You're at bottom of the
Yeah.
range.
What
Oh, you
the
got
hell?
us.
I quit.
You don't have a spade. Like, yeah, this is like, if you made it here, you have to go all in.
I don't know
What a
how we made it
stupid
here on
hand.
the turn. I
I'm
mean,
just gonna say, all of you went broke and I just check folded flop.
You're a genius.
No, I folded to the check raise. I'm not a psycho.
I
I
folded
still don't
on the
get why we're
turn.
floating here. Or yeah, that's what I mean on the turn.
That's
To the
why I
dunk.
go broke so often. I go with GTO.
This is pretty gross.
I
But
How are
mean,
we floating this?
we have 10 high.
Let's take a peek for
Yeah,
Danny's
I
mental health.
honestly, I have no clue how we're floating either. We're gonna have offsuit stuff with the spade. We're gonna have ace X. Like, we're gonna have flushes. Well, let's peek at our flop. Like, what do we bet the flop with one big blind? So we see what our range is.
So we're betting 74% of the flops. So we're betting everything.
And that's the only size we use. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not betting everything. We are checking some of our top pairs and
Everything in
No, but-
range has some betting.
We're betting a
Okay,
piece
so-
of everything.
I mean, that makes sense.
And what's his dunk range?
So
Everything.
So how much does he fold? He folds 28%. So that's actually pretty good. Like when we bet 1.65 chips and just get to pick up a 3-bet pot 25% of the time. And that's against a solver. Right? Like this is literally
True.
a solver exploit. All right. So his turn when the 9 pairs.
Oh, that's why he gets the lead, the 9 paired. Okay.
Yeah.
I
'Cause he
feel
defends his
I feel less befuddled now. It's just that little. I think
Oh,
this
he
is a
found the
function.
minority line.
I
Yeah,
think
but
this
say
is
he
a
led the
function.
small sizing. He leads
Yeah,
the
I
large
think this is
sizing
a
a lot.
function of giving the solver a lot of sizes, and then you're like, oh, how do I play against this line? Well, what hand did it put into that bucket?
Yeah, so he out of his 11%
I
range, he
s-
found the A7 that does it.
I still don't understand our foot with
Okay,
10 high
and
though.
What
So-
now we get to the interesting part. Why the fuck are we calling with 10-7 of clubs?
It's not even close.
He's
It is
doing
calling-
everything.
All these 10-7s at negative EV.
But like, why is 10-7 better than Queen 7?
It interacts with the 9 more, but the clubs are irrelevant, cuz if he has suited 9, he can't have clubs, so I don't get it.
Why
Like,
is
if we
interaction
block-
within?
Well, he can have 10-9 suited and 9-7 suited, right? Is 9-7 suited in range?
So it's
But like, we're not blocking that with 10-7 of
But-
clubs, we're blocking it with
but he-
10-7 of diamonds.
He has Queen 9 suited in range too, though.
we
And
want
king-
to
Well, that's fair.
what
Yeah.
it looks like. We want to unblock him having king or queen high here.
Well, I guess if it's a 10 and 7 are out to more clean. They have a lot of like 7, 6, 7, 5. I mean, I'm not gonna put too much energy in this. I think in game you should probably fold.
Yeah.
So we're
Someone
hoping
call
he
Matt
gives up
Affleck real
river
quick.
and we can bet? Like,
I
I mean,
what's
that was the original thought.
Yeah, that, let's see what,
unblocking
like,
his bluffs?
We call.
Well, Peter said
when we
that's
get
it.
it.
Sorry,
I
go
wouldn't
ahead.
change anything. I was gonna say, can we get a report for the river and see what we do with this hand, but we can't do that for this
Alright.
particular hand. I was gonna see which rivers we're just blasting with 10-7 of clubs.
So when we get here on the river, the ace pairs, when we call with our 10-7. And his strategy is to check 35, bet 62. So assuming that he checks, because when he bets, we're gonna fold, I think.
No, we jam.
We saw
When
that.
When he bets, we jam.
10-7, 10-7 of clubs is a pure jam,
Only the clubs.
only the clubs.
Hard to do it too. It's
Yeah, we're
interesting.
getting a little in the weeds now.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
When he checks, do we turn it into a bluff? Yeah, we just.
That's the
jam.
important thing.
Yeah.
Can we
What
look
if
at a
it's a
brick
spade,
river
like-
as well?
like-
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah, let's look at a spade and let's look at a brick.
Yeah, like a 2 of spades, like just a low spade.
The spades,
Give him the check.
he's checking almost everything now. And so when he checks,
If we go all in.
it's just a jam. We're just jamming
And if
half
we,
our
This
range.
is
if we
stupid.
go, oh yeah, wow.
We're calling with bluff outs.
Yeah.
Like there's
The only
no
thing that
good
we're-
card that can come, but I'll get you off a hand, maybe.
Yeah, the only thing that we're checking is a 9.
And if we go all in, what is he calling with? Is he calling with just a 1-8? No, he's not, yeah.
He calls with some 9s. He folds some trip 9s.
Okay.
He calls with a few aces.
Holding trips, calling with top pair.
Yeah.
What's this
Yeah,
guy doing?
that's.
All 0 EV. Yeah, it's just not much of stuff. Well,
Guess
we
it's
fell
blocker
pretty far
based.
down the rabbit hole on that. So it seems like a spot that we'll wrap up this night.
Oh, can
Thanks
we look at a
everyone for-
non-spade too?
It's-
Daddy, daddy.
I got you, I'm sorry.
You got me. Okay, non-spade. You wanted the deuce of bananas coming out here, right?
Yeah, put a heart on there.
Alright, here we go, river.
Really fast. I mean, I suspect it's just doing the same thing.
So
Although the
his
brick might be
strategy to
different.
Start with is going to
He's
check
checking.
with deuce of hearts. And our strategy,
You have him
click-
betting
You click bet. Yeah, yeah.
Still all in.
our strategy, 10-7 is just go for it. Although 10-7 of clubs checks the weird bizarro world of 10-7 of clubs is the strange outlier.
So when someone can explain this to me, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'll just be here.
Yeah. And now he's calling with all his 9s and folding with some of his aces
Yeah.
when we stop or 10 high on the river. All right. Well,
Crazy.
as we were
Alright,
saying,
thank you.
to everyone who appreciates Danny's mental health and one more sim, that's great. We do have a Patreon site where you can support our community. We have great coaching content from myself and Louis Philippe, Jonathan Little, God's Big Toe, and interviews with like Matt Affleck and Michael Acevedo. So definitely check these things out. Some fun hand histories, some advanced concepts, squeezing with half the field or a third of the field. And yeah, we'll see you back next week for another study session.